What's going on? Back for the game with your boy the Prophet. Hey, yo, so listen, I got a special tier list for you guys today. We're gonna be going over the best characters of every killer in the game. I'm leading this list up to a video that I'm going to talk about, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. We about to get it popping. Hope you guys do the content. Let's get it lit.
They left a nigga down bad, I had to come up. And back down into the sun. I had to switch up, nigga. No, I ain't mad at you. I just had to come up and look at just what that bag could do. I charged into the game, cause I said I won't complain. Ain't been no sunny days, I had to get it out the rain. Look.
Back plugged in again. Alright, so as I said, the video today we're going to be talking about the best characters for every killer in the game. Now, we'll go ahead and start with our first category, which is bad killers. I'm just looking at Aura at the end, bruh, dying like, oh, bro. Alright, so yeah, so the category for bad killers is going to be any non-standard PvE killers. So these are going to be your no-affiliation killers, your Espada killers, your captain killers, your Quincy killers, your human killers, all of those extra killers that are included that aren't good to have. So let's go ahead and start the list. Starting off with the Swimsuit Apache. She is a great character. She has one of the best kits in the entire game. Her first strong attack is unique to her at this time. It is a 1200 length forward and 1200 width beam. So it's wider than basically every beam in the game, but it's a lot shorter. She does have the best standard second strong attack in the game. 960 radius, 1200 radius third strong attack. She has 40 bruiser, 40 berserker, and 60 devastation. She does make a Espada killer guild quest beatable for a lot of accounts. So she does have that very high intangibility that if you do own this character and you do want to beat guild quest correctly, then she's a great character for Espada GQB. Alright, now we're going to move on to the Heart Retsu, or the Pass Retsu. The best kitted character in the game with guard break. Generally when characters have guard break, they give them a range collision first strong attack just to kind of dumb them down so that they're not just stupid OP. But what they did with this Retsu is they gave her a perfect kit minus Havoc, but they gave her a bad killer, which human killer is literally like the worst killer that you could fathom. She has 725 beam first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack. Also, her third is a full screen. She does have crazy magnifications everywhere, so she is still going to be able to rip through content. And I do feel like with Transcendence, she's going to be one of the best characters in the game because of her kit, and she's never going to lose damage on any enemies. Moving on to this Kisuke, he is very similar to past Retsu. He does have a better killer though. The thing is that the Retsu has a guard break, right? Kisuke does have a slightly better killer, the same magnifications. He has the same first and second strong attack as her, but his third is a charge attack. His soul bomb does have an insta-kill chance on it, so keep that in mind with that Kisuke. Then we're going to move over to the Spirit Society Rangiku. She has weakening on everything, 20 bruiser berserker, 40 devastation, havoc, yeah, basically the same first and second strong attack as Spirit Society Byakuya and Bankai Shinji, but her second is very similar to Tokinada's second strong attack and even the new Hikone. So no affiliation as well, no affiliation killer as well, excuse me. And yeah, great kit, weakening on everything. Then we're gonna move on to the Camp Fear and Ward Shunsu Kyoraku. He has one of the best third strong attacks in the game. It's the same as the new Hikone, same as Tenjiro and Koga. So those three have that third strong attack. His second strong attack is the same as the new Hisagi, which definitely holds him back. It locks you in place, and the AoE is only in front of you, and it damages in 2 phases, meaning that you can't just snipe out 2 waves at the same time. Also, he does have a lunge with Havoc, but it's a segmented lunge, meaning like all 3 hits need to land before you get max damage. So it really does slow his playstyle down quite significantly. He has Lacerate, Berserker, and 40% damage to lacerated enemies. Then we're going to move on to Lolly. She has no affiliation killer. She had the beam for strong attack, the same second strong attack as Can't Fear Ward Batagon, and very similar to Hikone's first or second strong attack without Havoc. Actually, this character is a copy and paste of the new Hikone without Havoc, except she has a guard break. The same exact first as Hikone, the same exact second, and the same exact third, except she has 20% less distance because she does not have Havoc. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. She does have guard break with 20 Bruiser Berserker and no affiliation killer, and she does have an element or 2 resistance. And then we're going to move on to Redux Toshiro, who I feel he would be a lot higher if he had a different second strong attack. He once again has the same second strong attack as Hisagi without Havoc. Christmas Nelio has the same second strong attack. Machine Society Toshiro has the same exact strong attack. And it's the same one that it locks you in place. It's only in front of you and doesn't have any side or back range at all. And it also damages in 2 phases, meaning that you're not going to be able to just level 2 waves at one time. Or Recharge Link, he does have freeze on everything with 20 Bruiser Berserker. Then we're going to move on to Young Byakuya. He is a standard 12 Recharge Link with Lacerate on everything. He has Burn on the second strong attack, but Lacerate on everything else. And lunging first strong attack with Havoc, and a 1200 radius full screen third strong attack, like I said, with Havoc. So very solid kit. His second does make him a lot slower than pretty much every other recharge character on the list, which is why he's down here. And then we have the Halloween Grimjow. Very great character for a no affiliation killer. Well, the reason that I like him is because his lunge, he gets a lot of distance, and basically the hit potency is very good. But once again, he has the same second strong attack as Redux Tosh and as Can't Fear Ward Shinsui and Hisagi without Bankai. So without Havoc. So he has the same second strong attack, full screen third, 25 sad link, no affiliation killer, weakening on everything. So a soul bomb does hit incredibly hard. And yeah, that's pretty much it with that character. Then we have the 3rd anniversary Ukiura. When he came out, we just wanted him to be better. I'm sorry. Like, if he had a better killer, then he would be much better overall. But there is a Senkaimon floor that requires a power no affiliation killer, so keep that in mind. But yeah, lunging first strong attack, which gets a little bit more distance than your average lunge. His second strong attack is a boost and a barrier with enhancer, and he does come equipped with poise, and he does have a charge attack, but it hits in 2 separate phases. So it's not the best kind of charge attack, to be quite frank with you, even though it looks visually stunning. So moving on to Can't Fear Ward Loopy. He has the same first strong attack as Aura and as 5th anniversary Byakuya. 5th anniversary Byakuya is the weakest strong attack by far. He does have Berserker 20, Bruiser 20, Devastation 40, of course, the same standard combination with fire duration resistance, Frenzy, Havoc, and Sprinter. His second strong attack is the same as the new Shuhei, 750 radius, but it locks you in place, it damages in 2 waves. He does have a 1200 radius full screen third. Yeah, weakening on everything, so a soul bomb does hit hard, but comparing him to this Tsukishima right here, Tsukishima has a better kit. Tsukishima has a better first strong attack and a better second strong attack. However, Loopy does have a better third because Tsukishima has a standard lunge first strong attack, and his second is actually a 600 AoE distant. It's much better than a 750. I will say the 750 is distant, but the thing is that Tsukishima's second strong attack, it's an instant detonation. Like, he drops it and then everything in front of him dies. If you can get multiple waves inside of it, then you're going to kill multiple waves with the second strong attack. So keep that in mind, that Tsukishima does have a better second strong attack. Like, this character at level 10 SP is without a doubt going to clear faster than Or with the level 10 SP, because of his first and second strong attack are massively better. Even though Or has guard break, she literally has the worst first and second strong attack combination in the game, being a range collision first and a vortex second strong attack. She has guard break with Havoc and full screen and Bruiser Berserker and weakening. Yes, she has all those things, but her kit and her normal attack, if Or had a better normal attack, she'll be over Tsukishima. Honestly. But she literally had the worst nat string in the game. It's broken up into 4 separate hits, so she can never escape pushing enemies back. Her first is a push back, her second is a moving vortex, which is very slow. So instead of just one nat string and just one big damage number, it goes pink, pink, pink. So Or is really slow. Moving on to our hollow killers, and we're going to be starting off the list with Mind Koga. Obviously one of the best kitted units in the game. He has the 870 beam first strong attack, the best standard second strong attack in the game being 960 radius, and in my opinion the best third strong attack in the game being 1170 distant AoE. In front of him, side of him, behind him, it has the perfect range, and all you have to do is basically make sure that when you're casting it, no enemies are behind you. It allows you to be a lot safer. You don't have to you don't have to run right into the middle of the enemies to get the most out of your third strong attack. So keep that in mind, that this is a better strong attack, and it does keep you safer, and it's much better while autoing with the strong attack character. So keep that in mind. Yes, Koga does have Havoc, and he does have Bruiser, but he does not have Berserker. He has Paralysis on his second strong attack, Freeze on his third, and then Paralysis on his Soul Bomb as well. We'll go ahead and move on next to the Ginzuru, one of the best characters in the game overall, in my personal opinion. You know, he does have guard break, which is going to mean that he's never going to lose any damage no matter what enemies he's going against. It helps you with higher tier content, because most of the melee enemies, the chunkier big enemies with a lot of HP, they have guard break. So even if you have enough SP and damage to kill them outright, you're losing, you know, about 20 to 30% of your damage because they're guarding on 2 of your first hits. So keep that in mind. Guard break really does help with clearing content faster if you have a great kit. Lunging first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack, full screen third of course. He does have a laceration and poison combo, depending on if you want to use Gin or Izuru. No Havoc, which is the only thing that was wrong with this character, but if they'd have gave this character 2 killers, Havoc, and switchable status elements with a character to protect you, that would have been busted, and Ginzuru would have been like one of the best characters in the game easily. Oh, I did mention that Ginzuru is Soul Reaper killer and Hollow killer. He is basically the best tech Soul Reaper killer in the game, but Soul Reaper killer is so incredibly stacked that I felt it would be better to incorporate him as a Hollow killer. But mind you guys, Ginzuru is, in my opinion, the best Soul Reaper killer for technique in the game because of his kit, how fast he clears content, really faster than Uryu, who didn't even make the list. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and move on to Machine Society Ukiura, another character that does have guard break with Hollow killer. He has what I would call demigod kit, which that is a lunging first strong attack, a beam second strong attack, and a full screen third. Demigod kit, that's what I would refer to that as, because it is one of the best combinations in the game of max potency and damage. It does have weakening on everything with guard break, and I did want to mention that this Ukiura does of course have Berserker. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to Tech Rukia, who she does have the exact same kit as Spirit Society Byakuya and Bankai Shinji, minus 20% AoE because she does not have Havoc. So she does still have the Berserker and Bruiser with the 40 Devastation combo, freeze on everything, beam first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack, full screen third. She does have paralysis on her second strong attack. Yeah, those are the most notable things about this character. Very solid overall. One of the best kitted characters in the game, and one of Tech's best Hollow killers, without a doubt. Next, we're going to be looking at the Thousand Blow Warrior Nemu. She does have Havoc with the 1200 radius full screen third strong attack. She does have a beam second strong attack, which is 870 width, 3000 length, And then she has a 570 lunging first strong attack. She does have the skill where when she uses her soul bomb, she can bring you back to life, so she can revive all enemies once if they're alive when she casts her soul bomb. She does have an extra flash step with the Havoc Bruiser Berserker combo. Yeah, no status elements on her though, so keep that in mind. She is one of the best characters for power hollow killers in the game. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and move on to the Bankai Yamaji. This character actually started what we know today as God Kit. What God Kit is currently is a 725 beam first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack, and a full screen third or a distant 970 third strong attack, in my personal opinion. This Yamamoto does have the walking vortex on his soul bomb, meaning after he does his soul bomb, he gets a vortex around him with the same magnifications as his soul bomb. So if you have him 5/5, he has a 5/5 vortex walking around him. Strong attack recharge with a hollow killer. He is one of the best speed hollow killers in the game. Then we'll go ahead and move on to Mugetsu, who does have 3 flash steps. I would call Mugetsu Demigod Kit or a Semi-God Kit, and that's a lunging first strong attack, 800 second strong attack, and then full screen third strong attack. He does have weakening on everything, meaning his soul bomb hits extra hard on top of his 40 devastation. He does heal by 20% between stages. Double killers being hollow and no affiliation. Once again, one of the best characters in the game, and weakening makes him even more broken for guild quests and just doing more damage with the soul bomb. Moving on to Adult Toshiro, who has the same kit as Mugetsu, except Adult Tosh, his first is actually better by a slight margin. Adult Toshiro has a 575 lunging first strong attack, which is the second best lunging strong attack in the game, even without Havoc. So if this character gets resurrected and gets Havoc, oh my gosh, the best second strong attack in the game without Havoc. 800 radius, same as Mugetsu and Minitone. Full screen third, and the most intangible thing about him is he has a freeze on everything with weakened defense on his soul bomb, which means when he's in the epic raid bonus, he's going to absolutely melt, and his soul bomb always is going to do lots of extra damage. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and move on to Tag Team Renji. Definitely the most underrated units on this list properly. This unit actually does have Havoc with a charge attack being 1080 radius. He has double killers being Hollow Killer and Arrancar Killer. He also has a 750 distant AoE second strong attack. His first strong attack is a 570 AoE around him. It's exactly the same as a 570 lunge, except he doesn't move. So basically what you'd have to do is flash step 1 or 2 extra times forward, place his first strong attack so that the first wave is behind you, and then the second wave is just going to get ripped away. So his first strong attack is going to clear 2 waves right up top. Like him and Mugetsu, I've both seen them clear Inheritance Zone solo with no link slot, 42 seconds, and this was without Transcendence as well. So yeah, man, like I said, he's definitely a very slept on unit. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next unit, Mind Shinji, and he's actually a slept on unit as well, for the main reason being that he does have a strong attack damage link 25%. So that does put him in line with a lot of the characters, you know, that we have today. He does have Havoc, so his third strong attack is 1200 radius, devastation, as well as long reach, of course, and he does have a 20 bruiser. He has burn on the second strong attack, so when this character gets resurrected, he does have a chance to potentially get a strong attack recharge link and be a really crazy character. He has a unique second strong attack, being that it is 1080 width and 3000 length, which is absolutely massive. It's all melee collision. Really, in length and range, this would be the best second strong attack in the game. But it doesn't have any back range or side range. So, well, basically you just have to place it. It can rip 2 or 3 waves out. He clears faster than some recharge characters if you can place his strong attacks properly. Moving on to the Mind Fear and Word Halibel. She's a really good unit. I mean, you know, she does have a range collision first, which that does hold her back slightly. She has an 800 radius second strong attack, 1000 radius third strong attack, guard break, as I said, frenzy, poison, and freeze resistance. 40 bruiser berserker. So I do feel like her first holds her back a little bit, but in my opinion, it's one of the better range collisions first strong attacks that we do have available. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to this Grimjow. I actually kind of decided to move him up a bit. Just looking at some data on him, he does have a 20 Bruiser Berserker with poison on everything, a lunging first and second strong attack with a full screen third. Yes, Fullbring Ichigo does have a better second strong attack, but this Grimjow, his second strong attack isn't horrendous or anything. It is melee collision. It just requires a little bit of better placement. He's going to be able to do that lunging first strong attack quite more often. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to Fullbring Ichigo. He does have weakened attack, which if he has weakened defense, he would definitely be over Grimjow. Lunging first strong attack, 725 beam on his second strong attack, 40 bruiser on this character. So when he gets resurrected, there's a chance that maybe he'll get Sar and another Berserker. I don't know. That'd be absolutely crazy, but you know, he does have a great kit, and this character literally started God Kit. You know, this character set the trend, the precedent for what a great kit was in this game for so long. All right, moving on to our Arrancar killers. And I will say that the Anniversary Ichigo and Byakuya both do have hollow kill. So without a doubt, Ichigo and Byakuya definitely are going to be the first and second best hollow killer. I did not count them in hollow killer tier simply because it would have kind of offset the list. All right, so talking about this 5th anniversary Ichigo, which is basically the most busted unit in the game as far as his actual kit, his damages, and what he can do in the game. He has a 60 Berserker with weakening on everything, and a distant AoE charge attack with a lunging first strong attack, and a 960 range or 960 distant AoE second strong attack, which is the best standard second strong attack in the game. I always said best standard second strong attack in the game because let's be real, 5th anniversary Byakuya has this exact same strong attack times 2 or 3. Yeah, so he does have the best standard second strong attack in the game with the highest magnifications available and the best status element in the game. His 3rd strong attack is going to do massive amounts of damage, and not to mention that this character has the most busted skill in the game, which is Marauder. That means that he counts as ranged and melee, and he has guard break essentially, so he just is going to chew content. He has an extra flash step as well, so 3 flash steps with basically one of the best kits you can possibly imagine. This is the precipice of hollow killer and Arrancar killers for the game, and if you have this character, or if you plan on summoning for this character, you really don't need any other hollow killer or Arrancar killer for power. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Fierce Battle Kisuke, basically the best NAD Arrancar unit in the game. The only reason that I have him above Candace is because this character replaces Candace in the mode that she just destroyed the most, which was Inheritance Zone. Any Inheritance Zone with the Arrancar killers, Candace was highly favored. There is no better character to use. Now, this Fierce Battle Kisuke is that character. Why? Because he has +5 heart Inheritance Zone potions, which means every Kisuke you have in your team, you're going to get 5 more heart potions when you're farming Inheritance Zone. And he has a perfect kit that allows him to auto Inheritance Zone very safely with very, very great success. Very similar to the Tech Uryu and the same strong attack as Tokinata has, but instead of a boost, he has a barrier. And no, barrier doesn't get you as much damage, but what it does is it gives you 3 chances to completely negate 100% of the damage that you take, which means in Inheritance Zone, bosses have those high power strong attack moves that only hit once or twice, and if you have 1 shield up, you're gonna survive where any other character would have died. A flurry, guard break, Arrancar killer, 40 bruiser, 50 berserker, absolute mad light of unit, and he does have devastation as well. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Candace. Triple flash step, havoc, weakened defense, which is so great. Lunging first strong attack, 960 radius, second strong attack, distant AoE, the best standard second strong attack in the game. 1200 radius, full screen third. This character has paralysis on everything. She has a berserker of 20%, bruiser of 20%. She's just a wild child. She's just a cannon. You know, she has a perfect strong attacks in every single category, triple flash steps with weakened defense on top of paralysis on everything, making her one of the best characters ever created for SP damage and clearing time. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the swimsuit Nemo, who is basically the exact same thing as Candace. She has the same exact first, second, and third strong attack, 570 lunge, 960 AoE distant, and then 1200 radius full screen third. The biggest difference between her and Candace is that she does not have 3 flash steps, and she has weakened resistance instead of weakened defense. I would rather have weakened defense and that triple flash step. But obviously if she was an exact carbon copy of Candace, then everybody would have a big problem, especially since they do have the exact same kill. But yeah, then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Tech TLA Soy Farm. The thing is that all these characters, I'm ranking them with level 10 SP. If you slap level 10 SP on this character, she's going to clear content faster than pretty much everyone on this list, except for a few exceptions. So keep that in mind. An extra 500 SP is more than enough. She has perfect strong attacks in every category, lunging first and second strong attack, full screen third that pops off very quick. She does have burn on her soul bomb with poison on everything else, and debilitator. She does have a bruiser as well. Long stride, which gives her double the length of her flash steps, and she has 4 flash steps innately, making her 4 times faster than basically every single character that comes out standardly. She is absolutely one of the most broken characters that's ever come out. K-Lab has literally only given long stride to one other strong attack recharge character since she's come out. Well, Zomaria as well. You need long stride and perfect strong attack to be competitive, and she does have that. Same with the Mind Decone, who you guys will see later on in the. Now we're going to move on to Basby. Lunging first strong attack, 960 distant AoE second strong attack. He does have Havoc, right? So it's 1080, but I wish it was distant. But he does have to flash step in to the thick of the mobs to get the best result out of that 1080 radius. But when you apply that 1080 radius, in most cases being in solo IZ or co-op IZ, he's going to destroy, and he's going to do so much more damage than your average third strong attack. He can make up, and especially if you know how to pre-charge, characters like Basby and Renji can clear faster than your standard character should even be able to. He does also have Disabler, which gives him 10% more chance to proc burn when he does have attribute and killer. Bruiser Berserker of 20 with burn on everything, of course. We're going to move on to the Can't Fear and Ward Stark, one of the best kitted characters for a very long time. Havoc with the beam for a strong attack. It's not the best beam, but it is still a very good beam with Havoc. He does have the best standard second strong attack in the game with the full screen 1200 radius third, burn resistance, burn on everything. He does have a bruiser, but no berserker. As I said, he cannot be burned. All right, now we're going to move and we're going to talk about Bankai Hisagi. Some of you guys might be a little bit confuzzled about his placement here. I'll definitely explain. He does have Havoc with a full screen third, 1200 radius, and a 570 lunge for a strong attack. And he does have weakening on everything with bruiser and berserker combination of 20% and 40 devastation, of course, just like most of the other units thus far. So, but what kind of holds him back is his second strong attack, being its 750 radius only in front of him. It doesn't have any side or back range really, and it does lock you in place. It's a little slow to pop off as well because it has a suction and then a combustion. Some of the faster enemies, they're going to dodge this move, and that's going to mean you're going to miss short. You're not going to be able to clear all the waves that you originally need to be clearing with this type of character for how hard he hit. And Shuhei does have a debuff on his soul bomb as well, but it only works on enemies that were impacted by the first hit of his soul bomb, none of the subsequent hits after that. It is a very good debuff, but it doesn't travel through waves. His soul bomb is going to hit extra hard because weakening and devastation. All right, now Zombie Tosh, one of my personal favorite characters just in the series, not necessarily in the game. I do love that he does have 2 lunging strong attacks and a distant 970 third strong attack. I do feel that he does suffer slightly from not having Havoc. If he did have Havoc, he would be one of the best kitted characters in the game. But he does have Poise, which helps in some cases. Freeze on pretty much everything with Debilitator. He does have a chance to proc weakening on his second strong attack, which I like. Very good for Arrancar killers with his Bruiser and Berserker. Before we got Candace, he was the cream of the crop for Mind Arrancar killers. Now we're going to talk about the Fierce Battle Ukiura, who is a power Arrancar killer. killer. He does have a beam first strong attack and the same second strong attack as like Shuhei Isagi, except that he does not have Havoc. He does have guard break though, a full screen third strong attack. He's going to be able to spam his second strong attack a lot more than people like Senjumaru and this Halibel right here. He does have a really good first strong attack being 725, you know, 40 Bruiser Berserker and 60 Devastation. He's going to hit really hard, and he does have a very solid kit. His second strong attack holds him back, being that it does lock him in place. He can't penetrate through multiple waves and with maximum damage, but he does have weakened defense on his soul bomb. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to Senjumaru. She does have Havoc with the best standard first strong attack in the game, being an 870 with and a 3000 length beam. Melee collision, of course. She has a 1200 radius second strong attack. Her third is a 690 AoE around her, and it is a barrier move, meaning that it's only available every 20 seconds. I know that a lot of people are going to have a lot of debate about who's better between her and Halibel. I did have to actually go into the grinds and test these two characters against each other. Senjumaru was better because her first strong attack is massively better than Halibel's. Now, Halibel does have a lunging first strong attack, but it does hit in 3 separate waves, so it doesn't just spike enemies for maximum damage. So that's pretty much the big issue with comparing her to Halibel. Senjumaru has 60 more radius on her second strong attack as well. So Senjumaru has drastically better first and better second strong attack. No matter how you want to call it, 60 more radius is going to affect a lot more enemies. So better first and a better second. They have the same third, and Senjumaru does have a higher chance to proc lacerate. She has attribute and killer. Halibel doesn't really need to any extra damage because she has 40 bruiser and berserker. She also has a boost and a barrier. So yes, Halibel does have that intangibility for co-op where she gives you a boost and a barrier, but Senjumaru is going to clear content faster because she has a drastically better first strong attack and more AoE on her second strong attack. Halibel's first is slightly flawed. If it was just a standard lunge and it just wiped out enemies and it had the same distance, I would have Halibel over Senjumaru. But like I said, her first strong attack is really only going to kill one wave, unfortunately, with full damage, how the damage magnifiers come out. It's unfortunate, but you know, that's just my personal opinion on the matter. Make sure you guys let me know. Alright, so the Cacao Society Momo. She does have a great lunge first strong attack, which is a standard lunge without Havoc, but she does travel a great distance, and you do have to kind of keep that in mind. Her second strong attack is an 800 radius. She has a distant AoE charge attack third, pretty similar to Desert Society Rukia. She does have weakened defense. A lot of people do sleep on her, but the GOATs know how goated that this Momo is. Alright, now we're going to move on to our final tier. This Byakuya is arguably the best holo killer in the game. He's not in holo killer category right now, but you can't discount that this character is essentially the best holo killer in the game. He does have sharpshooter and the best second strong attack in the game, being the 960 AoE with Havoc. It's distant. The damage magnifiers on the second strong attack happen a lot quicker with this Byakuya because the second part of his strong attack is a vortex that homes and tracks enemies. Relentlessly tracks enemies. Any enemy alive, it's a 50 hit vortex, and it has a full damage of a 50 hit vortex. So his second strong attack is literally 2 strong attacks in one, combined with his 40 berserker and bruiser. He has bombardment as well, so his soul bomb hits for double the damage, not just 40 or 60%. Sharpshooter, which means that he counts as melee and range. You can use him for twice the guild quest floors, and he's so amazing. So this Byakuya has the best second strong attack in the game. His third is a 1200 in front of him, distant AoE that does lock him in place and hit in 2 phases. But combined with that, with his second strong attack, it just seems like this character can wipe out so much. This character actually transcends co-op because of his second strong attack can affect multiple waves at the same time due to his vortex constantly moving and tracking new enemies. Now we're on the best kitted character in the actual game, being Bankai Shinji Hirako. He gives 20% more strong attack damage to any power captain, 870 distant first strong attack, 3000 length with the 960 second strong attack. That is radius distant AoE, and a 1200 radius third strong attack. He does also have a 20 bruiser berserk. He does inflict more damage to confused enemies. Him and Spirit Society Byakuya have the exact same kit, same exact first, same exact second, same exact third. The biggest difference is that Byakuya does not have that additional 20% damage. Well, if Byakuya and Shinji are together, then they hit for the same amount of damage in like an ID co-op, but Shinji also has the chance to inflict 40% more damage on confused enemies. Byakuya's soul bomb does hit harder for one hit, and that's the first hit, but Byakuya might be able to soul bomb a bit cleaner than Shinji, but Shinji's going to carry on soul bomb damage anytime he has an enemy confused. So yeah, now we're talking about the big gun, Tokinata, the best flurry character in the game overall. Not only because he has flurry and range with guard break, but because he has a boost with enhancer, on top of that transforming strong attack, which means that he can refill his strong attacks basically 2.5 to 3 times in the game, depending on how you plan the strong attacks or depending on his build. So many intangible things about this character that he does have status elements on pretty much everything, and his strong attacks do get better on top of having better magnification. After he uses his soul bomb and transforms, he does have that enhanced boost, which is the main reason why he's so high above Grimmjow, because Grimmjow most definitely 100% autos faster than Tokinata in single player content, but he doesn't offer anything in co-op aside just being able to clear fast. But yeah, Tokinata is just so intangible. In manual play, Tokinata is going to clear faster than Grimmjow, but auto Grimmjow is definitely faster. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're thinking about who to use with your auto teams. Now we're going to move on to Tenjiro Kidenji. 3 flash steps. He does pass 20% berserker off to any speed. So Reaper, which is essentially the best boost in the game. He does have 40 berserker with that trait. 40 berserker on top of having paralysis on everything, with, in my opinion, the best third in the game, being 1170 distant AoE in front, on the side, and behind you. He has a lunging first strong attack with the 870 with 3000 length beam for a second strong attack. Doesn't have as much width as the 960 second strong attack. It affects a longer radius, and he does have that 3 flash steps, and he also revives fallen enemies with his soul bomb as long as you rely. I'm gonna move on to the Mind Hikone. Long stride with 3 flash steps with melee collision god kit essentially is going to make this character clear faster than pretty much any character in the game, aside from, I would say, Mind Ichigo in Guild Quest with certain amounts of transcendence. At 1 of 5, Hikone is still pretty much going to clear everything faster because he does have Soul Reaper Killer with weakening, distant 800 radius second strong attack, full screen third, and a lunging first strong attack, paralysis immunity, which means he's very good at autoing and certain floors in Senkaimon or certain quests that are available in the game. Weakening with recharge link, making it so that his soul bomb hits extra hard all the time, and he's going to be able to clear content so fast because of those 3 flash steps. And long stride, which also make it significantly easier for you to dodge and stay alive with this character. Fierce Battle Ichigo, one of the best characters that has come out in the game in a long time. He has a lunging first strong attack, a 725 beam second strong attack, which is the same as Fullbring Ichigo, a distant AoE 975 a third strong attack, which does have effective forward, side, and back range. He does the transformation mechanic with his 40 bruiser berserker, which the transformation gives him even higher magnification with the Zeta Pill skill, and he can reset his strong attack about 3 times in a 20-second period if you can plan his strong attacks correctly, making him an incredible tank for clearing enemies in a quick amount of time. Dead Society Rukia, 3 flash steps, last ditch survival, bruiser berserker of 20%, 40 devastation of course, and she does have weakening on everything with the Soul Reaper Killer, distant AoE charge attack for her third, which is so great for co-op. This Rukia is literally one of the best characters ever built for co-op. If she does get resurrected and she gets Havoc, we will be blessed with one of the best characters ever created. And now we're going to talk about the resurrected Hikone. A lot of people may be kind of confused about his placement. He does essentially have what is the best first strong attack in the game, being 870 width and 3000 length with 20 bruiser berserker and weakening on everything, meaning everything is going to hit harder, including his soul bomb. He does also have 10% higher chance to proc weaken while he has attribute and killer. He has a what I think is the best third strong attack in the game, being the same as Kirinji and Main Koga. What you might be wondering is, why is he so low? Well, his second strong attack, in my opinion, holds him back. It is range collision, melee collision split. The damage is always going to be inconsistent. You're really going to be lucky to be able to kill even a wave and a half. It takes so long for the full damage to come out. By the time you kill that first wave, there's only like 10 to 20% of the attack left to even do any damage to them. So comparing him to characters like even the old Hikone, who has a drastically better second strong attack, the Main Hikone is going to clear content faster than this Hikone if they're both at level 10 SP. His second strong attack does hold him back in the fact that it's not perfect. You're not going to be able to clear multiple waves with it. When you're talking about the best characters in the game, having a second strong attack that isn't as good as anyone else on the list, it's definitely going to hold you back because the main damage you have is your strong attack. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Fierce Battle Kenpachi, Sad Ken, if you'd like. The only reason I have him so low is because he is a strong attack damage link. I feel like if he couldn't refill his strong attacks, Bambi would be over him. Honestly, he might be able to clear content faster than the new Hikone. I haven't tested that. His second strong attack is a 725 beam, which is the same as Fierce Battle Ichigo. He doesn't have Havoc. Some people would prefer 800 radius second strong attack a lot more, which that is a better strong attack, but this is one of the better second strong attacks possible in the game. Melee collision, and it does have incredible hit potency. 40 Bruiser Berserker with the transformation mechanic on top of a 25 strong attack damage link, so he's going to hit incredibly hard. In most cases, you don't need to hit that hard, and if he was a strong attack recharge link, he would literally be right there with Fierce Battle Ichigo. Looking at Bambietta, she is where she is simply because of her first strong attack is range collision, melee collision split, so you need to get a bit closer to get the most out of her first strong attack. She does have the best standard second strong attack in the game, and she does have a full screen 1200 radius third strong attack with burn on everything and an increased chance to burn enemies. You know, not much else they could have done to make her better aside from give her a beam for a strong attack, which if they would have done that, then she would almost be better than Kirinji in most standard content if you ask most people. All right, now we're going to move on to the fastest autoer in the game, Camp Fear and War Grimmjow, lunging first and second strong attack with guard break, a Zeta Pill skill, poise, damage reduction, and a Soul Reaper killer. He hits incredibly hard. The main reason that he's above Oetsu is because he had the Zeta Pill skill built in, giving him a way wider variety of builds that are applicable for him. Going hybrid or straight up NAD, Grimmjow is going to clear faster than Tokinata and Oetsu from everything that I've tested. Best auto in the game. Man, this was a very long list, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. All right, now we're going to move on to the #1 Zanpakuto creator. Oetsu Nimaya is uniquely one of the best characters in the game. I do feel like he lacks because he doesn't have long reach, and his NAD, every time he swings, it gets him closer to danger. He doesn't have poise or damage reduction or anything like that, so he autos fast, but he's going to die a lot. And you know, it really just depends on his build. I'm not saying he's going to die all the time. He does have paralysis immunity. Is going to give him incredible autoing ability, being that paralysis is one of the worst immunities to get afflicted by. He does have a boost with enhancer, so he's honestly one of the best characters in the game in that regard. Second strong attack, it is a vortex that surrounds him. I would say in co-op, Oetsu is going to be a little bit better than Grimmjow, but at the end of the day, you don't really want to be using Oetsu for co-op unless he's like max transcended or something. But even in that case, I would say there's better options. But yeah, Oetsu does have that intangibility that if you do need to use him in co-op, he can boost the team and you can run him with the full SAR build. So I mean, depending on how you want to slice it or call it in co-op, I could easily see you putting Oetsu and Grimmjow depending on how you weigh that. But considering that Grimmjow has damage reduction and poise and Oetsu doesn't, I can definitely see Oetsu is a better autoer for co-op, but he's not a potion link character. So in that case, you don't really need to auto co-op. That's just my personal opinion, and that is my list of the best of each killer in the game. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. This video literally took me like 3 days to just completely compile everything and finish it, and that's not even editing it. So yeah, man, I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Prophet Nation. I do love y'all. I'm out.
On the sunny days, tell myself I'll make a way. All them people done doubted me.